Thank you, Michael. First of all, congratulations to Germany. Well-deserved win. I think it was an entertaining game for the fans. The first half, especially, I thought we were really good. And then it came down to some moments. I think the goals were conceded a little bit too easily. But overall, happy with the effort of the team, happy with the mindset and the intentions of the team. I think that was important. And then the third thing was that we didn't give up. We didn't quit to the last whistle. We kept trying to push and trying to get some goals. So overall, pleased with that. Good learning experience for the group, and we know we need to get better if we want to win.
Thanks. We'll start over here to your left.
Jeff Carlisle with ESPN. Gregg, you said it was a good learning experience. What lessons do you think you learned today? I'm thinking especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, well, I think the goals, like I mentioned, against the quality opponent like Germany, you have to be able to make plays and stay connected in and around the penalty box. And you see on the 3 goals, it was a loss of connection with the back line. And the midfield, just overall organization on those 3 plays let us down a little bit. But what we did learn was those moments, the speed at which these top teams can play out, the combinations they can play in really tight spaces was important to learn. And then I think also for us to understand that we can also hurt teams like that. And it should give us some bit of confidence. And as we plot towards 2026, this pathway, it's about learning from these moments and understanding that we need to stay in it for every single minute of the game to have a chance.
Doug.
Hey, Greg. Doug McIntyre, Fox Sports. Just curious what went into the decision to start Gio as opposed to bring him in off the bench. Why'd you do that, and how did you think he did today?
Similar to Ballo, how we're carefully managing his minutes. The goal is to send him back to Dortmund, as we mentioned, in a really good spot. And we thought 45 was a perfect dose for him, and we wanted to give him the opportunity to get the 45 from the beginning. And I think he played a good game, showed his quality. I think everyone in the first half played well. And so it was good to see and good to have him on the field.
Steve.
Steve Goff, The Washington Post. Greg, first half the attack was dangerous, and especially out in the open field. How did you see that front 3 perform, combine, and create?
I agree. I think we created some problems. Looking at the run from deep from Christian in the 5th minute, wasn't offsides. Too bad that the AR put his flag up. Would have been a nice goal. We talked about making those types of runs. And then just the threat that we had a lot in the first half, I think was really good. It put Germany on their heels a little bit at times. But to me, it's also about controlling the tempo of the game, and that's what we really need to learn. And, we cost so much energy also with our own counterattacks that, then it's hard to really stay consistent in all of your actions, like your defensive shape. And so that, that's, again, to me, that's a learning experience. The games against opponents like this can't be that open, and it needs to be tighter.
Henry, second row.
Henry Bajal from Yahoo Sports right here.
Hey,
2 questions. It looks like without the ball, you guys started pressing in a 4-2-4/4-4-2, and then went to 4-3-3 midway through the first half, I think. What was the reason for that? And then second part, not that any of the midfielders played bad, but did you feel like you missed Tyler today and some of his defensive bite?
Well, Tyler's a great player. It's not nice to talk about guys that aren't here, though, and I'd rather talk about the guys that are on the field. But we did start, we thought they would play this 4-2-2-2, and we were going to use the 4-4-2 defensive shape against them, preventing central passes. As they moved to 3 and build up, we wanted to switch and get to 3 against their 3 and 2 and prevent access to their center midfielders, which is really hard. I mean, it's actually an interesting exercise to watch because Gundogan, has a ton of class. Pascal Gross does that with his club, that type of thing. So it's challenging, and Hummels is really calm and collected on the ball. So it was a fun exercise.
Paul.
Paul Tenorio here from The Athletic. Greg, again, not talking about Tyler specifically, but you wanted to try some plan Bs if he's not here, and Eunice seemed to be playing in that deeper role. You talked about the connection between the midfield and the back line. How much do you think you learned against world-class opponents like this about the decisiveness that's needed sometimes around the top of the box to not give those little spaces? Because if you give that extra second, that extra space against these players, clearly they were able to exploit it a bit in the second half.
Yeah, you know, when you watch the goals back, I had the opportunity to do that in the coach's office. You know, that's exactly what you're saying. It's really these fine moments, these split seconds where you need to be well positioned, not open up any gaps in your back line, and that's where it went wrong. And you know, in one case, tracking runners going through. You know, keeping your organization of 4 and 3 in front of the 4, that it's very difficult to break through. So we just, you know, we lack that in those moments. But you know, Germany's a good team, and they're going to open teams up. They're going to create goal scoring opportunities because of the quality that they have on the field.
Ibis, third row to your left.
Ivis Clarissip, SBI Soccer. Greg, as far as fullback play goes,
Yeah.
you know, fans love to see players get forward,
Yep.
fullbacks attack, but you need to have that balance defensively and
Yep.
attack-wise. When you see Serginho, he shows us getting forward how dangerous he can be, but how do you work on that, the defensive kind of frailties that we see, not to pick on him, but just in general, finding that balance between wanting attackers at fullback, but also defensive stability?
Yeah, it's about, I think, that your attacks don't finish so quickly that you can move the whole team up and get in a good position when you lose the ball. And we didn't always do that. And when you don't, now Germany can counterattack and really open up the field, and then you have big distances that you're going back and forth. So, you know, to me, it's not so much about Serginho. It's about, you know, just not pinning them in well enough, and then opening up the field, or losing the ball too quickly that now he has to go back. You know, we want him getting forward. We want him being aggressive. But when you lose the ball quickly, there's a lot of distance now to travel backwards.
Back right.
Kyle Baum, Sporting News. Thanks for your time, Greg. You've talked a lot about taking the next step.
Yep.
With U.S. Soccer. How do you think this match, you know, qualified in that sense after the performance? And then when you have a level score line like that at halftime, how do you then take that next step and push in the second half rather than, you know, fall back in that way?
Yeah, I mean, that's what this is about, us learning as a group. You know, it's a young team playing against a very experienced German team, and it's really solidifying, waiting for moments, you know, having maybe not so many attacks, but having really pinpointed attacks that result in goal-scoring opportunities. It's tricky. But, again, we're looking at this as a learning experience. And, you know, for us, it's using these games like this to figure out, okay, how can we be successful against top teams? And, you know, I expect this German team to grow and improve, and I think it's going to be a strong contender.
Sanjay from Backheeled and Scuffed. Greg, you were asked about Balo yesterday. You mentioned, you know, needing to find his runs better. How do you think you guys did with that? And just overall, how do you think you guys did with more space? It seems like there were moments where they left a lot of space behind the back line, and you guys looked threatening. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I was pleased with that. You know, you see the pass that he gave Balo that resulted in Christian going one-on-one with the goalie, which, you know, I didn't see the replay. To me, it looked like a penalty kick. So I thought he did a good job exploiting the back line. It's, you know, him, Timmy Weah, Christian also. I mean, Christian scores. We should talk about that, what type of goal he scored. I mean, that's a world-class goal against 4 opponents, against, you know, goalkeeper from Barcelona. To put it in the corner like that with that pace from that distance is pretty special. So I think all 3 attackers did a good job. And for us, it's just about how do we maintain it? How do we keep that going for 90 minutes? You know, because the game isn't just 45 minutes.
Second row to your left.
Christian Falk, Bild. Julian Nagelsmann is very young. He brings a new spirit and a new energy to this team and a new outfit. How do you like his outfit today?
His outfit. Oh, my gosh. I'm not going to comment on his outfit. I'll let you guys do that. But I'll say that, that, you know, the flexibility that Germany demonstrated today, tactical flexibility, moving position, especially on the top line and between the lines with Wirtz and Musiala, it made it challenging. And then when you have quality on the ball like Hummels, Ta, and Rudiger with Gundogan and Gross there, it's challenging. So I think he's going to use that blueprint, I think, to keep adapting to what the opponent does and always stay one step ahead. And you see today, it was really interesting how they kept changing shape.